Hey, it's Friday and you're watching The Biggest Beauty Project. This week's topic is about dating, and even though I'm forever alone, I have been on dates and I've had relationships, and a lot of them have been awkward. I'm a very awkward person, as many of you know, and I've dated a lot of very awkward people, so I could go on about awkward stories, but I have chosen one that I feel like is one of the most awkward dates that I've been on. A few years ago, I was dating this guy. We were dating pretty casually, like we just went out a few times over the summer, and it was kind of towards the end of the summer. I was getting ready to go back to school, and things were getting a little bit more serious. We were going on like more dates. I'm a creature of habit. I like to do kind of normal dates, like, dinner, a movie, coffee shop, walking around a park or something, normal things. But this guy, I think he was like trying to impress me and trying to be like really different and out there. But I was just like, I don't really care what we do, which I really didn't. He decided that we should go to a magic show. We went to dinner beforehand at the Olive Garden, which I really don't like. I don't know why I went to the Olive Garden. Thinking back, I'm like, why did that happen? But we met up there, and then he drove me downtown to this it was like a sketchy part of town, but it was this building that was only partially finished, and we went into the part that was still being built, or that, it was like an unfinished part of this building, and they had this makeshift theater set up, and it was totally creepy. There was box in the very front where you bought tickets, but it was plywood, it was so janky. Which to the right person it would be totally cool and hipster and different, but to me I was freaked out. And it was a fairly small place too. It was just this kind of a big open room that they had set up for this magic show, and there was a stage and tables around the stage, and I was freaking out because I don't like to be put on the spot. I don't like to be called up to the front or whatever, so because I'm so introverted, I don't like any kind of attention like that, so I was freaking out the whole time. I don't remember much about the actual magic show. It wasn't super impressive or anything like that. It wasn't really bad, but I was just so uncomfortable the whole time, and my anxiety was through the roof. I was so worried the whole time that I was gonna get called on, and I didn't. My date got called on, he got to go out, but he loved it. So that was really weird. And then afterwards, like I said, he was driving and he missed the exit, and we ended up in Indiana, which sounds really scary, and it was, but we just took the wrong exit. Louisville's right on the border between Kentucky and Indiana, so it's not we went really far. We just took the wrong exit and ended up on the bridge, and we're in Indiana because once you're on the bridge, of course, you can't turn around. And I was freaking out because, again, this has been a very difficult evening for me, and suddenly I was in Indiana unexpectedly, and I don't live downtown. I don't go downtown a whole lot, so that's not something that happens to me. I don't just accidentally go to Indiana on a daily basis, but he went to school down there, and he was used to driving downtown, which I'm not sure how he missed the exit if he was so used to it, but he was totally non-phased and totally judging me for freaking out about it, and I was you're kidnapping me and taking me to Indiana. What is happening? But we did make it back, made it back to my car at the Olive Garden, and drove back home. But I continued to date this guy, and we ended up going out for a year before, he broke up with me for this other girl. Later in the relationship, something about that night came up, and I was that was the worst date ever, I hope you know. And he was that was my favorite date that we've ever been on. And when he was up doing his magic trick or whatever with the guy, he did something with a playing card, and he still had the playing card. It was his favorite date of all time, and I hated it. And so obviously we were very much not compatible because he loved that kind of stuff, and it gave me massive anxiety, and he didn't even see that I was really freaking out and I really didn't want to be there. But that was definitely my most awkward date. I've been on dates with awkward people, but that was the most awkward actual date. I mean, a magic show. Who goes on a date to a magic show? Have any of you all been on a date to a magic show? I would love to hear about it if you have. Samantha wants to know if we have any dating advice, which I would love to hear some because I'm forever alone. Even though I don't date much, I do have a little bit of advice, and that's just to be yourself, which is so cliche, but a lot of times when you're first meeting somebody, or when you're, trying to date and trying to meet people, you not only put your best self out there, but kind of pretend to be something you're not sometimes. Sometimes I've pretended to like stuff that I didn't really like, wanting to go to a magic show just to, impress a guy or to get a guy to like me or whatever. It's totally okay to say, yeah, that's not really something I'm into. Or it's okay if somebody's talking about something they're really into and you don't know much about it. It is totally okay to say, yeah, I don't really know much about that. Could you, tell me more about it? And maybe you could learn things, and you're not lying to somebody. Definitely put your best self out there. Try to make a good first impression, of course. Don't show all of your crazy at first, save a little back and let it out gradually once you get to know somebody. But don't pretend to be something you're not. Don't laugh at somebody's jokes if they're not funny, just Be yourself, don't pretend to be something you're not just to get a guy. Also, it is much better to be alone than to be in a bad relationship. Don't date someone just because you're afraid to be alone. Today is the Kentucky Oaks. It's the day before the Derby. And this is a big, holiday weekend. I've been pretty busy at the store lately between Derby and Mother's Day. Everybody's been in for their gifts and different things. It feels like everyone's getting new jobs right now, like all my internet friends and stuff and some of my real life friends, and I'm so happy for them. But I'm also kind of jealous because I really want a new job and I've applied to a few that I was feeling really good about, but I haven't even gotten an interview in a long time, in months and months. So I've been kind of feeling down about that lately, but I mean, like, I'm doing okay. Like I said, it's my favorite month. It's May. Derby season, that's always happy. Girls, viewers, everyone, I hope you are all doing super well. I hope everyone's having a good May. I hope everyone has a happy Derby, even though that's not a thing other than here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.